Today's EastEnders episode delivered two surprise returns that nobody saw coming. Sharon Watts and Ravi Gulati are both back in Walford, but while one return has fans celebrating, the other has already sparked a huge debate. Even more interesting is that both characters leave behind major questions that could shape the next few weeks on the square. We'll look at why Priya completely shuts Ravi down, the dangerous promise he makes before the episode ends, and the unexpected decision Sharon drops on Phil that could change the future of the boxing den. There's also one detail about Ravi's return that fans simply can't ignore. So let's get straight into it.
The episode wastes no time throwing viewers back into the middle of the drama. Before Ravi even appears, Priya's already dealing with the aftermath of yesterday's chaos. Her secret fling with Max almost came crashing down after Cindy and Lauren came dangerously close to catching them at the Arches. Somehow, Max managed to hide Priya inside the boot of a car that Vinny was trying to sell, completely unaware that Lauren was about to take that very same car for a test drive. It was one of those classic EastEnders moments that mixed tension with a bit of comedy. But for Priya, there was nothing funny about it. She eventually escaped without exposing the affair, but the experience left her humiliated and furious. After asking Suki to bring her some clothes, Priya finally confronted Max, blaming him for everything that had happened. Their argument quickly became heated, and just as emotions boiled over, Priya stepped into the road. That's when everything changed. Out of nowhere, Ravi Gulati was back in Walford. Neither of them expected the encounter, and it immediately became clear that Ravi hadn't returned simply to say hello. He tried to speak to Priya calmly and pleaded for another chance. From his point of view, time away may have given him hope that things could still be repaired. But Priya wasn't interested in looking backwards. She made her feelings perfectly clear. As far as Priya was concerned, the relationship was over, and there was no going back. Personally, I think this reaction made complete sense. After everything that's happened between these two over the past year, it would have felt unrealistic if Priya had simply forgiven him after one conversation. Unfortunately, Ravi didn't take the rejection well. Instead of accepting Priya's decision, he became convinced that another man was the real reason she'd moved on. That suspicion quickly turned into obsession. By the end of their conversation, Ravi made a chilling promise. He told Suki that once he discovered who Priya's mystery man was, he would make sure that man paid the price. That single line completely changed the atmosphere surrounding his return. Rather than looking like someone who's reflected on his past mistakes, Ravi immediately slipped back into old habits, driven by anger, jealousy, and revenge. And that's exactly why so many viewers have already started questioning whether this comeback was really a good idea. If you're enjoying today's EastEnders update, don't forget to subscribe to the Soap Insider 2.0. We cover all the latest spoilers, returns, exits and fan theories, so make sure you've got notifications turned on and you won't miss our next update. Now let's move over to Sharon Watts. Unlike Ravi's return, Sharon's comeback couldn't have received a warmer welcome from the people around her. Both Zach and Phil were genuinely pleased to see her back in Albert Square, and for a few moments, everything almost felt normal again.
In Walford, businesses are rarely just businesses. They're about influence, loyalty and power. Whoever takes Sharon's place could end up changing several storylines at once. At the moment, we don't know exactly why Sharon has reached this decision, and I actually think EastEnders is deliberately keeping some of that mystery hidden for now. It feels like there's still another piece of this puzzle that hasn't been revealed. Knowing Sharon, big decisions usually come with bigger consequences. So even though her appearance in today's episode was fairly brief, it may end up becoming one of the most important developments of the week.
Away from the episode itself, fans have been sharing very different opinions about
These two returns.
Across social media, plenty of viewers said they were genuinely happy to see Sharon back where she belongs. For many fans, Sharon remains one of the show's most iconic characters, and her return instantly brings energy back to the square. Ravi's comeback, however, has been much more divisive. A lot of viewers believe he hasn't changed at all. From their perspective, Ravi spent very little time showing genuine regret before slipping straight back into threatening behaviour.
Others have pointed out that Priya has every right to move on after everything she's been through, and that Ravi's reaction only proves she made the right decision. Of course, not everyone feels the same. Some fans are curious to see where this revenge storyline leads, and whether Ravi's return could eventually reveal a different side to his character. But based purely on today's episode, it's easy to understand why opinions remain so divided. One thing that also stood out to me was how cleverly EastEnders balanced these two returns. On one side, Sharon brings uncertainty through business decisions and long-term consequences. On the other, Ravi arrives carrying personal anger that could quickly explode into something much more dangerous. They're two completely different types of drama, yet both stories feel connected because they leave viewers asking the same question. What happens next? Will Phil manage to keep control of the boxing den? Who could end up buying Sharon's share? How long can Priya keep her relationship with Max hidden? And perhaps the biggest question of all, what happens when Ravi finally discovers exactly who Priya has been seeing? Because if today's threat is anything to go by, that confrontation could become one of the biggest storylines of the summer. For now, EastEnders has done exactly what it wanted to do. It surprised viewers, restarted two major storylines, and left plenty of unanswered questions heading into the next episode.
Whether you're excited about Sharon's return or still unsure about Ravi's comeback, one thing is certain. Walford has suddenly become a much more unpredictable place. Now, I'd love to hear what you think. Are you happy that Sharon is back on the square? Do you think Ravi genuinely deserves another chance, or do you believe Priya made the right decision by walking away? And who do you think could end up buying Sharon's share of the boxing den?
Share your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the Soap Insider 2.0 for more daily EastEnders spoilers, news and fan discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.